Hello there, I'm Black Bright News, and I was reading about an article. It was talking about students who were in the UK illegally and how they'd got into the UK with false documents or fake documents. And the writer of Sky News, of the article in Sky News, was saying, how do they get past the Home Office? Or the Home Office not doing their job properly? And it made me write a few notes about it. And first of all, as I read it, I was just picking out key things, but there is quite a lot. So I am going to read out my thoughts and the actual text. So it does seem as though the dream was to come to the UK. The intention was to stay in the UK by any means necessary. And the plan was, after they did their research, they realised if they get a student visa, they can stay in the UK for 5 years. They can bring their dependents, and their dependents can work, have an unlimited right to work, which means they can work as much as they like, set up their own business. And now I understand why there are so many student people coming on student visas. So that's what they plan to do. The wife didn't have any intention of staying in university. They just wanted to get into the country and thought that once they came here, as long as they had 2 kids, they couldn't be deported. So it's all quite calculating, even though they used unethical means to do it. So what they did, they paid an agent 20 grand, sold their house, sold their bike. He had a Yamaha bike, sold all the wife's gold jewellery, and they raised 20,000 and they gave it to this agent. This agent then prepares false bank documents, because one of the criteria, apart from having proper English, is that you have a certain amount in your bank account. Now they would need at least £10,000 because it's in excess of I think it's nearly £800 for the student visa, including the health surcharge, and there's also, it's nearly 2 grand each for the dependents visa. So he would have his wife and he would have his 2 children. So you're looking about 6,600 off the bat. On top of that, he would need money to look after them. So say about another 4,000. So he would at least need £10,000 in the bank account. So he reckons he got this agent who's a part of a gang and who fabricated the bank statements. Said he had £10,000 in one bank account and he had taken out a £25,000 loan in another bank account. Now, if I was working for the Home Office, I'd be thinking, well, how are you going to pay that loan back? I mean, I know that students can work during term time, and they can part-time during term time and full-time when they're on vacation. And I know dependents have unlimited right to work, so they could raise some money. But I'd be asking what plan they had. I'd ask them to submit a business plan and how they intended to pay that loan back, plus raise enough money for the university fees and student visas for the following year. Anyway, the Home Office doesn't do that. The Home Office gives them a check mark and they're allowed in. And the wife, she doesn't even stay in that university long because that's not her intention. She stops going to the university. So when she stops going to the university, the visa gets cancelled and they're told to leave the country. Now, this family now decides that they're going to appeal, and they appeal and they believe that they have a right to stay, even though they've come here fraudulently. But that's what I don't understand. I don't understand the logic. You sell everything in your home country. You come here with a dream. You haven't done your research. You haven't got a clue of what's expected of you. If you come here on a student visa, you're supposed to go to university. That's why you've been given 5 years. On some people, they get 2 to 3 years, depending on what course they're taking, whether it's master's or PhD or whatever it is. But it's not an excuse to come into the country and then think, oh yeah, I'm going to swing one over on them and stay. Anyway, this is what this family have done, and now they're playing the victim. The Sky News give the heading, Poor Immigrants. What do they say it? I'll tell you what the headlines on Sky News. The Sky News today, we are told of a story of a poor Indian family with a dream of a better life, navigating their way past UK's immigration system. How can they be poor if they can raise 20 grand to give to someone? How can they be poor if they're willing to take a course in a different country? A poor person isn't going to pay out to take a course abroad. That's for the people who are well off. So they need to get rid of that word poor, unless they're using it in a different sense, so they don't mean money. So anyway, I've put here, I'm going to have to read this quickly because I don't even think I'm going to get through it all because I've been babbling. But is it the ignorance of the Home Office staff? Foreigners are not sophisticated enough to pull fake documents that we can't detect. Apparently they came to the UK on a student and dependent visa in 2023, obtained, they say, from agents who helped them falsify documents. Did they have the original documents? I don't know. Did they know that they were being provided with false documents? I don't know. Were they complicit in the fraud? i.e., were they calculating, willing to replicate original documents in order to achieve their dream? I don't know. They have managed to remain in the UK for 2 years by appealing. They are still waiting for leave to remain, which is, I believe, leave to remain has been extended from 2 to 5 years in some cases and 5 to 10 years in others. It seems that the Home Office shut their eyes when they see the proverbial dollar sign. As long as an immigrant can demonstrate that there is enough in their bank accounts to cover visas, living expenses for at least 28 consecutive days, the foreign student application will go ahead in most cases. Student visa is £776, including health surcharge, per year per person. The dependent visa is £1,938 per person per year if you're applying outside the UK, and they have to pay £1,321 if they're applying within the UK. And those are the figures as of 9th of April 2025. So his wife would have had to have shown that she had a region of £10,000 in the bank. What is interesting is that he says that the agent created fake bank accounts purporting to show that the family had a lump sum of £10,000 in one bank account and a loan of nearly £25,000 in a second bank account to cover living expenses, but none of it was true because he'd given all the money to the agent. So, what else have I got here? I was wondering how the European staff in the UK know what authentic bank statements look like. Do they have templates of bank statements from different parts of the world? Just asking. But it does look like they are legitimising foreign students by not being able to identify authentic documents. They have to have English to the level of ELTS and TEFL. And some students require secure English language, which is even a higher level. So they're not uneducated people because they would have had to have passed that application test. Once getting into the country, instead of following through, his wife failed to attend and was sent a letter. I've already said that. It does appear like many people abroad that they dream of coming to the UK and try to find ways to get here without thinking it through or realising the obstacles. Caught in the act, Sami, not his real name, says documents were obtained by agents or criminal gangs in India using fake documents. How does the Home Office, who is so dependent on income from foreign students and their dependents, discern authentic documents from fake ones? They need to scrutinise visa applications more and stop using algorithms, unconscious bias, stereotyping, tactics, but genuine scrutiny to ensure fairness. Because otherwise this is going to continue. People come here thinking they've got a dream and find ways in order to bypass the system, and it's not worth it. Anyway, that's all I've got to say for now. Let me have your thoughts. Bye bye.